So for me, the vision, actually, it's not really a vision, it's more of a philosophy. And the philosophy is that, I want every detail perfect.
Well, I feel like technically, of course, there's been a lot of learning, but also just, going from like a very corporate environment where we have like meetings, agendas, notes, action items, to no meetings, like asking questions and getting your answer, begging for an answer.
When you cool off, then you tend to talk civilly and you try and explain our point of view. And we both are happy to hear each other out. So I think that is the way to handle it. We have a couple of women who are in our unit, and I remember they were getting a lesser salary. And I remember asking my production manager that why is this happening? He said, "Ma'am, this is the norm." I said, "No. So we will change this norm."
Hi, Anu, and hi, Gauri, and welcome to the AboutHer Show. This is a show where we get trailblazing women to share the story of their lives with us, to tell us about their journey, their successes, failures, challenges, ups and downs, all of it. So that not only do they get a platform to showcase themselves, but they also help us inspire other women. Women who are listening in, watching the episode, women who have dreams, ambitions, aspirations, but for some reason are not able to pursue them. And along with women, we also get men on the show, men who champion such trailblazing women because we believe that for a truly gender inclusive world, men and women need to be allies in this journey. Now, Anu, I've known you for a long time and I've also known about your business. So today I want to know all about your journey, how you started it, how you came to this level where your daughter, Gauri, wanted to join you, and more. And of course, Gauri, I need to hear your side of the story as well. So I'm really, really excited to have you both on the show, and a very, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much for such a beautiful introduction to your show and to also inviting us to your show. Thank you.
Well, pleasure is all mine. So let's get started. So, like I said, just to break the ice, Anu, what inspired you in the first place to start this business, and what was your vision in the early days?
Okay, so Sangeeta, actually, I have been a design student. I have had my undergrad degree in design. Life honestly has just been about design. I had a business of handmade paper stationery for the longest time ever. I started my career with Archie's as a designer,
Okay.
and it's just been such a natural progression. My husband started this company, of course. His vision was very different. It was a website. We were way ahead of our times. And I've evolved it into customization and garments and just taken my design deeper and deeper. So that's where the business is now.
Okay. So, I mean, what was your vision when you decided? I mean, it was just that your interest in design and then getting into clothes. So, how was it? How did the transition happen?
So actually, I feel that today's day and age, everybody is wanting very quick solutions. They want fast fashion and everything should happen really quickly. Whereas I like to go into every little detail of the garment. For me, detailing is critical, be it a design detail, be it a fabric detail, be it how technically it falls, be it how it looks on every client. So for me, the vision, actually, it's not really a vision, it's more of a philosophy. And the philosophy is that, I want every detail perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Don't we know that, Gauri? Right. All right. So that explains. So, Gauri, my next question is to you. So, when and why did you decide to join your mom? And was this always a part of your plan?
It actually wasn't a part of my plan at all. I've been abroad for 8 years. My background is like PR communications, and that too in the technology space. So I've not studied fashion or design. So it happened quite naturally. I would say I decided last year that I wanted to move back. I wanted to be closer to my family. And that's when I decided to like explore some options. And obviously, I've seen mom work over the years, but from a distance. But I've just seen that she's been so involved in like each and every aspect of the business, which is something I didn't get to do in a corporate role. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's something that really excited me, like the whole entrepreneurial aspect of it. And obviously, I love fashion. And
Which girl doesn't?
exactly.
Absolutely. Yes, yes.
So yeah, that's kind of how the decision was made. And now I've been here for 6 months, and I definitely think it was the right decision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. So, Anu, ever since Gauri joined your business, how do you think the business started to evolve? And of course, it's work in progress always, but how do you think it started changing and evolving? And also, have there been any challenges because of her coming in and joining you?
Okay, so I have to admit that Gauri has made operations smoother.
Okay.
She has made the turnaround time so much better.
Mm-hmm.
She has actually got all clients, her interaction with clients is so quick, so fast that even all my clients are telling me, thank God there's Gauri.
Okay.
I tend to not even respond after a point of time. I feel like I go back into my design world
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of questions are left unanswered, or I'll not even fix appointments on time. Gauri has changed everything and it's so much smoother. I'm loving that about having Gauri here. The production team is so much happier because they get their answers like that.
Mm.
Whereas I'm like, okay, tell you, give me 2 days, give me 3 days. But she keeps nudging, prodding. So yeah, it's really become very, very smooth.
So it's actually because you've got an extra hand, somebody who you can trust and leave things to. It's so much easier. But have there
Yeah.
been any challenges because of her coming in?
Uh, no, not really. I don't think so. I think probably the challenge would be Gauri is also pursuing her master's and she has to now go for 2 weeks back to UK.
Okay.
And the challenge would be that we will really miss her and she's going at a very crucial time because we've got our exhibition on our heads. So
Mhm.
I think for me, the challenge would be that, we want her here. Now we don't want her to go.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the challenge.
Wow. Wow. So, Gauri, that does speak volumes about the contribution that you're making to the business. All right. So, of course, all this while, Anu, you were doing the business on your own independently. And of course, when someone else joins in, yes, it's a different feeling. And like you said, it's made things so much easier for you because, like you said, the turnaround time and all that has become faster. But then working together also means a lot of learning and a lot of understanding. So, if you were to look at your learning curve or your experience, so what has been the biggest learning curve for both of you while working together?
Okay, let me answer first.
Hmm.
I'm learning to re-evolve myself as a designer for a younger audience.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Because, obviously there's a lot of younger audience coming in, thanks to Gauri.
yeah.
And they do want a very different look.
Mhm.
And I'm very happy to relearn, re-evolve, and create garments that would suit a younger generation. And I'd be foolish not to, pick on that and understand that from Gauri that, this is the kind of look that I should evolve into. So I'm very excited about that, I have to admit. The coming exhibition has a lot of clothes for the younger audience. I'm very happy about it.
Lovely. And what about you, Gauri? So, how has it been for you?
I mean, I think the learning curve has been insanely steep. When I first joined, I felt like there was so much jargon being used. I was not even understanding what they were saying in the unit.
Yeah.
So I feel like technically, of course, there's been a lot of learning, but also just, going from like a very corporate environment where we have like meetings, agendas, notes, action items to no meetings, like asking questions and getting your answer, begging for an answer,
Yeah.
um, you know, stuff like that. So the environment has been very different. So that's been an adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
But also I also have a lot of leeway to kind of go ahead and implement things that I want and I'm excited about.
Right.
But that also, like, my mom has final review on these things, which makes complete sense. But sometimes then she doesn't have time for those reviews. So it's a lot of like balancing, prioritizing, and everything is super fast-paced. No one ever has time for anything. I've suggested like let's do 15-minute like meetings in the morning. That has never happened.
And I remember thinking, oh, it's a great idea. Yeah, let's do it and all. Every Monday or every Wednesday we'll do it. But no, it's
Yeah.
not happening.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So of course it is getting used to each other and the different styles of working. So which brings me to my next question. Obviously, your mother and daughter, you get along, all of that, but of course there can be, and I think there should be differences of opinion as well, where you want to do things in a certain way and your mom wants to do them in a certain way. So, especially when it comes to, striking a balance between maintaining the tradition or the way she's been doing her business to modernizing it, like the way she said that she's, trying to evolve and change, keeping the the youngsters in mind. So, how do you navigate this when you have a difference of opinion?
You want me to go first? I think that most times the differences are like very civilly discussed. I think we both respect and value each other's opinion a lot. But if like I think it depends on the discuss like the topic. So if it's a design the opinion, then I think it depends. Like mom has final review, the clients have like say. But if it's something else, like let's say marketing, social, branding, then I think I do have more of a say, but ultimately she's the boss. So she has final say on everything.
All right.
But
Well, we very recently had this conversation where we were sending out our invites, and she wanted to put a certain social media and omit another one. And I said, no, I'm sorry, but our age group still looks at this social media. And she was like, no, I don't agree. So we had this discussion and we both looked at each other and it was like, I don't agree with you and I don't agree with you. I was like, okay, now what do we do about it? We both don't agree, but what do we do about it? So, we both have to sort of convince each other then.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes, of course, it becomes a little more than just a casual, no, I don't agree and I don't agree. And then we do smoothen it out because when you cool off, then you tend to talk civilly and you try and explain our point of view. And we both are happy to hear each other out. So I think that is the way to handle it.
Absolutely. See, difference of opinion, I think, should be there. It's very healthy. But at the same time, like settling that difference, the way you do it is, of course, will make all the difference because settling is important ultimately. You are running the business together. So obviously, you've got to settle it. All right. So now you've been working with each other for a while. And of course, you must have noticed certain strengths and weaknesses in each one of you. I mean, Gauri seeing something in you and you seeing something in Gauri. So what is that one strength that you admire in each other? Gauri, you go first.
I would say, I think she has like the memory of, I don't know, it's like a steel trap when it comes to her clients. Their preferences, for example, something small like how they like their zip closure. Is it like a side zip, a back zip, a hook? She'll know it off the top of her head. Like what kind of linings they want, what fabric they prefer. It's honestly very, very impressive. And I think, I've worked for like 4 years now abroad in like a PR agency, and I've not seen this kind of like level of like detail when it comes to remembering your clients, like knowing your customers essentially. So I think that is one of the things that has impressed me the most. I think it's one of your biggest strengths and why clients like love her. So
I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that, definitely. All right. So Anu, now what about you? What do you admire the most in Gauri?
She's so focused. She is so focused. She will not lose her train of thought. She will not stop sort of nudging me and saying, no, this needs to be done, Mama. We'll finish this. And I'm like, no, I need to design this. You know what? Come, let's sit for 5 minutes. She will nudge, she will cajole, she will request. But at the end of the day, what she wants done will get done. Don't get fooled into this, I'm the boss, okay? Because she actually does manage to get what she wants. And it's really good because usually it is, reverting to a client quickly. Usually it is making sure production times are getting better and things are getting smoother. So those are the things she wants out of me.
Okay.
And she will not lose focus.
So Anu, you shouldn't forget she's your daughter after all, right? So she has to get something from you as well, isn't it? Yeah? Yes. All right. So, like you said, you do have difference of opinion, which are only natural. And then I'm sure there would be, tough conversations around it. And sometimes, a little, maybe a kind of a tiff sort of a thing. But then you go back to the same house. So, how do you ensure that your workplace disagreements do not interfere with your life at home? Anu.
That's it.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Okay, no, I tell you. So as soon as we go home, usually, and I have to say usually, Gauri does have something or the other planned with her friends because, otherwise it'll be all work and no play. So there is a distance, automatic distance that will get created because she's out with her friends, and as soon as I go home, I do my thing. So I think we take that a couple of hours break from each other, and then when we meet the next morning again to get into our cars and come to work, by then I think both have cooled off and it works out. It's just happened honestly, naturally. It's
Yeah.
not like we made an effort to do this. It's just worked out like this. And there has been that one odd rare moment when we both really felt like, oh my God, we don't want to look at each other. And that happens even without work sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even on a personal level, you can sort of have friction. So that's okay. That's like a mother-daughter thing. And that could be with a colleague also.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Of course. So, Gauri, you want to add something to this?
No, I completely agree with her. And I think like if there's ever been that heavy disagreement, like she said, we cool off and then we speak the next day. And I always make sure to like calmly put my point across when we both have cooled off, because I do think personally, I think that's important for a working environment. My mom can just seem to forget about it and everything's normal. But I like to have that calm discussion the next day and just explain how I'm feeling about it. But it doesn't happen often. It's been like one or two odd times
Touch
where
wood,
it's
touch wood.
touch wood,
Yeah.
where it's been like a heavy disagreement. But
Okay.
yeah, otherwise echo what she says completely.
Great. I think it's very important. You can't carry your work back home because then they'll start affecting your personal life. And of course, people in the house will start getting affected. So it's not fair to do that. All right. So, Anu, so of course, you've been running this business in different ways, for a very long time. And I'm sure you faced a number of challenges. So, has there ever been a really big challenge which you found very difficult to work around? I mean, in all these years that you've been doing the business.
Honestly, actually, really no. But if I was to pick up the smallest little thing, my strength is not marketing.
Okay.
My
Okay.
strength, I mean, my garments are so lovely. I mean, take a look at it. Why do I need to market it literally?
All right.
So my strength is not marketing. So that for me would be my biggest challenge. And that's where Gauri has stepped in.
Yeah.
So again, over to Gauri. And this is where she is absolutely an ace.
So in a way, she's complementing, the business, because whatever you lacked in terms of, like you said, marketing, she's taken over and she's doing that bit. So which actually works beautifully. All right. So anything that you've learned from her other than marketing ever since she's joined the business? Anu, of course, that's for you.
Yes, actually. I can carry on working till I am absolutely deadbeat. I can just carry on working. Be it, and I don't, for me, it's not like, oh, it's Diwali, I need to rush back, etc. No, I will carry on working and carry on working and carry on working. So that's something that Gauri has taught me, that mom, take a break. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to, sort of come back after, leave at 6:30. It's all right. You can, complete this tomorrow. If you put in that focus time, you can complete it tomorrow, day after. I tend to sort of say, no, 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 let me finish it now. So my whole team also works like that. They also work crazy hours with me, and they're so used to me.
Yeah.
So that's something learned from Gauri, and I have to admit that I remember there was this one day, once a week I go for a dance class, and I remember telling her, "Oh, there's so much work, I can't go." And I remember she just sat me down and she said, "You know what? Please go. You enjoy your dance. It's once a week."
Yeah.
So those are things that I've learned from her, that it's okay. I can take that break once in a week or whenever I need to. So yeah, I'm very happy about that.
So, it's always good to get a different perspective. And if you get it from someone who's close to you and who cares for you, and then will also ensure that you actually listen to them also. I think it makes such a beautiful difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gauri, what about you? What have you learned from mom? I mean,
I
apart from
think,
whatever else you said, anything that you couldn't say earlier.
yeah, I think she's honestly a very confident person. She has a lot of faith in what she does. She doesn't second guess herself, and I think that's something I struggle with a lot. But just being around her and being around that energy and seeing how confidently she gives design ideas to clients and how willingly they accept it, how much they trust her. I think that's also made me feel overall like a more confident person, just learn to trust my instincts more. And I genuinely feel that way. And I think now I do trust my gut instinct more. I'm less likely to second guess myself, or at least bring up those ideas with her if I have those. Um, I think confidence and self-assuredness for sure.
Okay. All right. So tell me something. You are a mother and daughter duo, and of course, you're doing this business together, business that was set up many, many years ago by you, Anu. So apart from the usual business related challenges, which of course you expect and they're going to be there, any gender related challenges that you feel, when you're dealing with maybe, your clients, of course, you don't get men clients, but all the same, when you're dealing with maybe a supplier or you're dealing with your workforce, I mean, whatever it is, have you ever felt that something was happening to you because you're women?
So in this industry, I think they are okay to sort of deal with a woman. However, I'll tell you what is the um, gender issue that I've seen.
Mm.
So even with the workers who are there with you, there's huge disparity of salary between a woman and a man,
Okay.
even if they're doing the same job.
Okay. Okay.
Even if they're sitting on the same machine, even if they're churning out the same garments.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the thing I have changed. I remember we have a couple of women who are in our unit, and I remember they were getting a lesser salary. And I remember asking my production manager that why is this happening? He said, "Ma'am, this is the norm." I said, "No, so we will change this norm."
Okay. Okay. All right.
So I remember this was something that really did. It wasn't like I made a big deal out of it. I just told my production team that let's. I said she is also doing the same amount of work, and if anything, she goes back home and she also does work at home. So
Correct.
let's encourage her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I dealt with it.
So, Gauri, you can see that the gender pay gap doesn't exist only in the corporate world, it's here as well. So, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you worked something around it because, yes, this does exist in almost every industry. And like you said, there is no reason for it. It's just, I think that it's a man and woman kind of a thing. And for you to realize that, maybe as a woman, it was easier for you to see that the woman not only is working here, but she goes back home and has to work. So why have this, discrimination? Gauri, do you want to add anything to this?
No, I mean, I completely echo what mom said because, as I'm now a part of the business, I look at expenses and salary slips and everything. So I did go deep into it. And I think, like what mom said, everyone's on par now who's doing the same kind of work. And I'm really happy about that because other friends of mine who work in similar industries have told me about like
Yeah,
these things.
yeah.
And you're right, there is no reason for it because they're doing the
Yeah.
same work. It's
Yeah.
not like one is supremely faster at churning out a garment than the other.
Yeah.
So I'm
But this supremely faster reminds me of a very interesting thing.
Mhm.
When Gauri joined, I remember she obviously she didn't know anything about the business. So I think she thought the best way to do this would be she would go into the unit every morning with her laptop and she would sit there and keep on keying in things. And I remember the entire team would look at each other very quietly and wonder, what is she keying in? Then I think maybe by the fourth day or the fifth day, she started asking the production manager that, okay, so can you give me the names of all the people who are working? Can you tell me whose pieces they are working on? Then she would start keying in again. And all of us had this very indulgent look that, oh, okay, she's come from a different degree, and this is how they do it there. And, okay, it carried on for 2 weeks. I still remember this very clearly, and I still remember thinking, oh my God, like I don't know how will I teach her if she's going to be sitting on the laptop all day and keep keying in things. Comes third week, Monday morning, she walks in. I will never forget that moment. She walks in and she looks at the production manager. She opens her laptop and she says, so and so was doing this piece. It has already been 4 days. How long will it be? Because this quotation we have given, and we're going to bust our timelines. And I was like, all right. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this is just what we needed.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't I see this? So I for those first 2 weeks, and I remember feeling so amused that, okay, this is how we're going to run this business.
Well, yes.
But yeah, it's obviously worked out. Yeah.
Yes, so new ideas, new ways of doing things, and if I may say so, something like a generation gap where, the younger generation thinks of doing things and streamlining things in a different way, and very effective. So kudos to you,
Absolutely.
Gauri. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
So, ladies, where do you see your business in the next 5 years? I mean, do you have different visions for the future, or like you've kind of aligned yourself to seeing one particular vision?
Honestly, I would like Gauri to obviously become the pillar that I want her to be out here.
Okay.
And once she takes over, I would like a lot of time to just get into my design world, to get into the detailing that I want to. I think obviously expansion, etc., is something that Gauri will handle and take over. But I would like more freer time, and I would like to just get into a more detailed process of designing.
Okay. So basically focusing on what you like to do.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. But Gauri obviously has to share her vision.
Gauri, what do you
Well,
say?
I'm sure you gathered from this conversation, but any kind of strategy or planning is very difficult. So we've not actually sketched out a 5-year plan or anything like that. But when I actually think about the future, I would definitely want to have a strong e-commerce presence. I think that's missing right now, and it could add a lot of value. I would also like want to expand our physical presence beyond, NCR. I
Okay.
think that is where our clientele is focused right now, and that's fine. That's how it's been. But it would be amazing in the next 5 years if we could be global, and outside India. So I think that is like the two main things that would be amazing. And obviously then mom can design, and I would want to have that um almost like that leadership quality where I don't need her final sign off on everything. We can carry on without her. We don't need her involved in every aspect. So then she has time to do her thing and we can run it smoothly without needing her for everything.
All right. Excellent. So all the best to you. All right. So you've seen around you, and I also know there are many, mother-daughter, mothers and daughters are doing business together. And this is not something uncommon. But if you were to offer some piece of advice to mothers and daughters who want to do this or who've been doing it for a very long time, is there something from your experience of being together that you would like to share with them, or, give them some suggestion or something like that?
So someone, let's say, who's exploring the possibility of having their daughter work with them. Let's say somebody who's thinking that, oh, should I join my mom or should I not? Or the mother's thinking that, should my daughter join my business? I would say 100%. It's a win-win situation. You cannot trust anyone more than your own. I would say just close your eyes and get your daughter, your child into the business.
Okay.
Throw them into the deep end.
Hmm.
Let them surface. Let them figure out how they want to do this. And then once they've surfaced, then see what are their strengths and how the business can use those strengths even better.
That's true. That is so true. I mean, first let them just let them be there and see how they are able to cope up with whatever comes their way. On that basis, help them identify their strengths and weaknesses and then build on that. Excellent. Gauri, do you want to say something about this?
Yeah, I would say just honestly be a team player. Like, no one is bigger than the business, have like zero ego when it comes to joining. You know, you're the new piece that's joining. You need to fit the puzzle somehow. So find your space, but develop relationships with everyone on the team. And just, yeah, be a team player, ask lots of questions, even if they might seem silly. Everyone's there to help you. So, utilize your team. And our team is, touchwood, just fantastic. They've been so amazing at helping me get up to speed. So, yeah, be a team player and just enjoy yourself.
Great, great, great. And finally, if you had to describe your mother-daughter journey in one word, what would it be and why?
I would, um, I don't know if this is like one word, but I think she's just been an amazing influence. So maybe I would say influential. But I know I spoke about this a little bit before, but she's just really helped me like work on my confidence. I've just also learned so much from her about like client interactions or dealing with people like all over, like different vendors for like dyers or like embroidery people, painters. She just is so amazing, so detail oriented. And in that space, if clients want to discuss things with her for 2 hours, she'll sit with them patiently and discuss. So I don't think that's one of my virtues. And like through this process, through these last 6 months, I think I've just learned so much from her. She's been an amazing influence, more than she already was for the last 27 years.
Okay.
If
All
that-
right. So you think by joining hands in the business, you have enriched a relationship which is already very beautiful and, like you said, been there for 27 years. You would agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
I think we've cemented it.
Beautiful. And anything else you want to add on to this, Anu?
You know what? Um, Obviously, as a daughter, I have always just loved her. You do.
Mhm.
Now I respect her. And
Wow.
I'm very happy.
You didn't respect me before this?
No, business acumen, respect is something you have to earn.
Yes.
That's very sweet.
But that's actually very true. That does not, it doesn't come to you as a matter of right or a birthright, if I may say so. It doesn't come just because you are born, to her.
Yeah.
You have to earn it with your work and the way you do it. All right. So, ladies, while of course we have come to the end of the conversation in terms of the questions, the big ones that I wanted to ask you, now we have the rapid fire round, which is 5 quick questions, 5 quick answers. So don't take too much time to think. And how I'm going to do it? Sorry?
Where is the hamper?
You will get it. It is right outside your doorstep. You just go out and you'll see it. All right. So how I will do it? First, one question I'll ask. The first question, if I'm asking Anu the first time, then Gauri answers, and the next question will be ask Gauri first. Okay. So there you go. We start. The first one, Anu, who's the biggest risk taker when it comes to designs?
I would say me.
Okay. Gauri, you have something else to say?
I definitely agree with that. Hands down.
All right. Okay. Next one, Gauri. Who's better at handling tough clients?
I think me.
Yeah.
I think I'm more level-headed, calmer, cooler.
Okay.
Mom gets more riled up quickly, I think.
All right. So, Anu, you agree with this?
Yeah, totally. Totally. I leave all the tough clients to her.
Okay. Now I'm asking you a question for which the answer has to be different. Okay, you can't both get away by giving the same answer. So, Anu, you get to answer this first. If you could dress any celebrity, who would it be?
Deepika Padukone.
Oh, wow, that was quick. Gauri.
That's a tough one. I feel like maybe Aishwarya Rai. I think she was one of my like favorite actresses growing up, and I just think she's so beautiful and her style has evolved so much. But yeah, I think that would be a dream.
All right, wonderful. Next, Gauri, what's the best part about working together? Different answers, please.
I think it's the fact that I can talk to her at any point during the day. We weren't together for 8 years when I was abroad, and now we're together 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. So it's been amazing. I can't get enough. Like, I can discuss personal life with her anytime. We're eating lunch, we're in the unit. Like, I can quickly discuss any problems I'm having. So I love that, like, extended amount of time that we're getting together.
Okay. Anu?
I love the fact that I can honestly just trust somebody blindly in my business.
Yes.
So for me, that's just, that's the best part.
I can
That's
so
the best.
imagine. Okay, now the final question. Anu, what's that one work habit of Gauri that drives you crazy?
Okay, so I would say that would be timing.
Okay.
She actually, and let me just elaborate on that. She is an accomplished dancer and she is also involved in a lot of shows. So she does have to go for her dance practices. So she's traveling a lot for that. Plus, like I said, she's doing a master's in Cambridge, which is a hybrid. So now second semester is on, so she'll be going for that. I feel the minute you start missing chunks of time, you know, to get up to speed, for somebody to explain to you that what was happening with A client, B client, C client, I just feel that for me is a little tough.
Okay. All right. Gauri, what about you?
I think that mom and actually the rest of the team love going off on tangents right in the middle of like anything important I want to do or say. I'm sitting down, I'm taking the notes, I'm ready, I'm like in the zone, and they're like, oh my God, remember when? And then they like start yapping, chatting, gossiping. I'm like, guys, like, and then this is after they've said, we're on a heavy time crunch, like, we don't have time. Please, guys, let's focus. And I'm like, you're the ones who are not focusing. Like, what do you want me to do?
That's so true. Actually, that's so true. That is so true.
That's interesting. All right. Okay, so this now finally brings us to the end of the conversation. And if I may say, absolutely delightful. I just love that, you know, that's not only that camaraderie, but that affection which I can see between the two of you and the mutual respect. I think that is so, so obvious. And I wish you all the best. May this continue to grow. And yes, you go global and you go all over the world. Remember the clients who are right next door, will you? Yeah. So thank you so much for being on the show, Gauri, and you, Anu. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so
very
much for having us.
Thank you very much. This has really been such a lovely session with you. Thank you.
I echo that. All right.
Thank you for tuning in to the About Her show. If you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more from where that came from. Our previous guests have shared some amazing stories, so be sure to catch up on past episodes. To keep up with our inspiring conversations and to never miss an update, hit subscribe, rate, review, and share the love. Follow us on social media for some great content, and don't forget to check out our website www.aboutherbysangeeta.com for stories that resonate, inspire, and empower. Know a remarkable woman or an inspiring man blazing a trail? We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a note at web.abouther@gmail.com and let's bring their story to life on the About Her show.